Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to build a three-dimensional flying machine in Minecraft. That's a machine that can move forward, back, left, right, and up and down. In order to do that you need to have carpet mod, which I'll walk you through, but let's get started. Okay, so once you have carpet mod enabled in your testing world, which I already do, I'm going to go ahead and log into my testing world, and it's a creative mode world, which is great. You want to set your carpet mod rules. So the first carpet mod rule, carpet/carpet, and its push limit. You're going to set this to whatever feels right. I'm going to set it to 500 because that's the value that it is on my AlphaWorld. But basically what this does is it sets the piston push limit, which is normally 12, to whatever value you want it to be. That's the power of carpet mod, and I like it a lot. On AlphaWorld it's ridiculously high because we have all these warships and stuff like that. So I'm just going to set it to 500, but it should be at least like 100 to 120 for this build that we're going to do today. Boink. Okay, and now we're going to do /carpet flippin' cactus. This isn't necessary, but it's very helpful in building flying machines. So once you have your piece of cactus as well as all your flying machine components, which I'll go through in a second if I need to, you can go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to build a little platform off the ground here. And this flying machine, the three-dimensional flying machine, is composed of 3 engines. Each one moves in 2 directions. So we're going to build the up and down engine first. And the way it goes is like this. I want to check my notes so I don't mess it up again. This is already like my 3rd take, so oh well. But you're going to build a basic component like this, and then put in the note block and the observer. Whoops, that isn't right. It wasn't supposed to fire. That's frustrating. Oh well. That's okay. If I build everything correctly, it should work fine. So I'm going to go ahead and build out this platform here. And then you're going to build the second observer, flip it around with that trusty flippin' cactus. Okay, and it pulls it back down, which is great. Now we have our basic up and down 2-way flying machine. And so, what do I want to do? I want to build stopping mechanisms. So the first thing I'm going to do is come out and build a little seat like this. This is where the seat's going to be. I'm just going to designate that. And then the first stopping mechanism is going to be right here. So I'm going to build it like this. You put a note block down, then you put an observer, and then you put a normal piston at the end of it. So now every time I hit this, it pushes this piston out, and that's a stopping mechanism. I'll show you how it works in a second. Now for the second stopping mechanism, I'm basically just going to build it right here. Boop, 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 and then I'm going to put the note block down, the observer, and the regular piston. Now I'm going to build my seat. So you need wall, rail, and a minecart. Put that down, and then you very carefully break the rail. Awesome. So now, hopefully, if it works the first try, which it never really does, I can go up, and it throws you up like that. That's okay. Now I need to hit this stopping mechanism to stop the craft. Awesome. Now, if I want to go down, you do this, and you have to remember where this stopping mechanism is. You can't really see it. But yeah, now you can go up and down, which is perfect. So let's build the rest of our engines. So we need to build a 2-way engine, another 2-way engine, this time coming this way. So we're going to build it like this. Sorry. And then you're going to come around like this, and like this. Let me make sure this is right. Do. Yep. Okay. I'm checking my notes because I tend to mess these things up. I'm going to put slime here, slime back here, and now we put the note blocks in, and then the observers. Perfect. Now we need stopping mechanisms, so I'm going to build one stopping mechanism right here. And then a second stopping mechanism right out here. And you need to make sure there's space left in between. You can probably notice that I'm just building this like willy-nilly. That's the power of carpet mod, is that the push limit is high enough that you can just kind of build stuff however you want, as long as it still fits some basic rules. Like, you need to leave space in between the components of the flying machine so that they don't collide with each other while you're flying. Okay, and now this is the tricky part that I messed up in the last take. So basically, you need to gum up these engines. And the way that I'm going to do that is by putting slime like this. So that's already attached, so I can put slime here. You need 6 slime blocks to properly gum up the up and down engine. And when I say properly, I mean over carefully, because I haven't figured out exactly what the key gumming blocks are yet. I just barely designed this engine. So hopefully, and I'm literally praying that this works, if I press the mechanisms here, it still goes up and down. How frustrating. Okay, I'm going to stop recording and figure this out. Okay, I finally found a solution. I wasn't about to start over all my takes again, so ignore this other flying machine. This is another failed take. But yeah, I figured out a good solution. So in order to gum up this engine, which is the way you prevent it from moving while it's flying so you can use a different engine on the machine, here are the 4 blocks you need to place. Boink, 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 boink. Once you place those 4 blocks down, these engines ain't going anywhere. So I'll just sample that for you right now. If I press the start button, doesn't work. If I press the start button, doesn't work. Awesome. So now I can use these engines, which I gummed up for the purpose of demonstrating, but I'll show you the pattern for gumming up normal horizontal engines. If you have note block piston mechanism here, note block piston mechanism here, and they're each like pointing this way, then you have space here and space here. So you put 2 blocks here and 2 blocks here. You guys want to pay attention to these hand signs here. So basically what that means in this context, if I want to gum up this engine, for example, if I want to go up and down, then I'll place a slime block here, then go over to the other note block, slime block here, slime block here. And yeah, I'll ungum it now so you can, so we can test this engine. Boop. Now we're moving this way, and we're going to collide with something. Shoot, that was almost terrible. Now we'll go the other way, and we'll test out our other stopping mechanism, which doesn't appear to be functional. Uh-oh, what happened to it? Who knows? What is happening? Ah, this is so scuffed. Okay, now we flip it about. Now we spam the mechanism. Great. Who knows what happened to that freaking observer? Wow, how bizarre. What happened to the other observer? That's insane. Okay, cool. So we got it working. We have 1 up and down engine, another side to side engine, and now we need to build 1 more side to side engine. So I'm going to come out here and basically just build it right here. So we're going to have a sticky piston. Let's see, how did I do it over here? I always like to match on each engine. It doesn't really matter exactly how you do it, but yeah, anyways, so hopefully this is far enough. We're going to do it like this. Oh, whoops. Like this. Flip it around. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, this looks to be appropriate. So let's build these note blocks for the engine. Whoops. And then, yeah, I'm going to build the second seat, back here. Make sure all that's good and dandy and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, and it looks like we built this too close because this is one of the gumming blocks of the first engine. So, whoops, I completely fucking busted it. Damn it all to hell. Okay, we're gonna go back to where we were and go from there. Okay, that was kind of scuffed, but we're gonna keep going. So I've got the second engine back. I've got it in appropriate distance this time, and now we're gonna keep on going. So the first thing I want to do is build a proper stopping mechanism. So I'm gonna do that right here. Boink, boink, boink. And we're gonna put a note block, an observer, and a piston. Awesome. Now, this is going to be my seat back here, so I'm going to build another stopping mechanism right here. Note block, observer, piston. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to try these seats here. Put the seat down. And we're good. Okay, awesome. So now I have yet another seat with a 2-way flying machine. This engine has been gummed up. This engine has been gummed up as well. If we look back here, those gumming blocks are still there. Okay, so now hopefully, praying once again, this will work. I want to move behind. I want to go backwards. So let's try this. Awesome. We're moving. Stopping mechanism. Oh, please stop. Okay, we're good. We're good. Now we're going to try the other direction. Okay, we're moving. We're moving. We're looving. Okay, we're going to stop. Excellent. Okay, now that is your basic 3-dimensional flying machine without any add-ons. So that's awesome. If I gum up this engine and use this one, I can move that other direction. If I gum up these 2 horizontal engines and ungum this one, I can move up and down. So yeah, it's 3-dimensional. That's freaking great. That's awesome. That's all I wanted. Except I want a little more. So first of all, I'm going to build a frame. Kind of an aircraft frame is what I like to refer to it as. So it's going to have some blocks coming out like this. and coming back this way. Just close enough that it doesn't cause an issue. Like that. And then I'm going to have a frame coming out like this as well. Make sure I'm not interfering with any gumming blocks. I am not. Boom. Just like that. And probably coming out that way as well. Now, what else do I want to do? I think that's all I want to do. So what I'm going to do with this is throw some more seats down. So kind of going to do it strategically. I actually want the seat to be like right here. So let's do that. And then we want to see if it's close enough to the other one. You can have seats 4 blocks apart and it'll still work. So this is 4 blocks from that one, so we're good. So I'll go ahead and get my components to build the seat. Boink, 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 boink. Awesome. Now I can build a second seat over here. Just gonna build it probably right about here. Like so. And you might be wondering, like, why are you building these seats in such random locations, you know? But the whole point is to have a way to look around the edge of the aircraft, like the border of the aircraft. And there's a purpose to that. It has to do with multiplayer. When you're on multiplayer, you want to be able to defend the aircraft from adversaries. And one of the best ways to do that, well, what are your main adversaries going to be? They're going to be Elytra. They're going to be flying not flying machines, but flying craft, flying fighters, I like to call them, the Elytra. So you want to be able to move along the border of the aircraft so that if an Elytra is coming from a certain direction, you can take your trusty multi-shot, you know, rocket launcher or whatever the crap, and just shoot it in that direction. Pew, 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 pew. And that way you can move around the craft and be able to defend yourself from any direction. And also, this is helpful in order to move from one seat to the next. So I want to go use this other engine, right? So I basically come over here like this. That was kind of scuffed. Probably because this is too far away. But yeah, I would go here and here and then here and here. And that's how I would get to this other seat. And that way I can use this seat, right? Great, that's awesome. So now what else do I want to add? I think there's only one thing I want to show you. Oh no, 2 more things I want to show you. Let's say I wanted this to be a bombing craft. Well, luckily on carpet mod, I can enable this other carpet mod feature. I'm going to show you carpet mod, movable block entities. Spelled that wrong? True. Now I can use chests, hoppers, and dispensers on this craft, which is freaking great. So I'm going to come out like this and build a little bombing mechanism to show you guys. So we're going to go like this, have a hopper coming in like this, and then have a chest like this. Now I can load up that chest as much as I want, so I'm going to drop some TNT in here, and then as soon as I start moving and this is loaded properly, which I need an observer to do, as soon as this starts moving, it's going to bomb. So let's say I'm sitting in this seat right here. I'm not going to actually do it, but let's just say I am. And now we're moving. Now we have a little bombing mechanism. Of course you can build a normal... Sorry, I'm going to move away so it's not so loud. Of course you can build a normal survival duper using like coral and stuff like that. But this is a lot more straightforward, and I think it's a cool design. Using the movable block entities. Also, let's say I wanted to have a bunch of storage on this machine. Like I wanted to maybe haul a bunch of items. Well, using shulker boxes, it's possible that if I just have a couple of chests like this, then boom, I can load this up with shulker boxes and we can haul a bunch of crap, which is great. That's awesome. The last thing I wanted to show you is how to make it resistant to anti-air defenses. I almost just typed in blast resistant. End stone bricks is what I'm going to use. And basically on all the slime blocks down here, whoops, you can put down end stone. And what that does is gives you some warning, some time to fly away if you run into anti-aircraft defenses. Because the TNT will first hit this blast-resistant end stone, and then as soon as you see that you're getting targeted, you can move the machine up, you can move the machine backwards in the other direction, whatever you want to do. And since you have such a high piston push limit, you can add end stone here, and it will defend your craft from those explosions, like I was saying. So that's good. That is solid. Basically, you just fill them in all like this. Make it nice and heavy, nice and difficult to move. Oh yeah, big chonky boy. Big chonky craft. It is my craft. It is Minecraft. Okay. Look at all that defense. Now, when you're moving and you want to shoot at this from the bottom, it's not going to be as easy if you have anti-aircraft, which is something that exists on my server. So anyways, let's move to an intermission. Whoops. I did the wrong thing. Okay, we're in an intermission now. Basically, that's how you build a three-dimensional flying machine with a bunch of other components using the wonderful features of Carpet Mod. I hope you enjoyed this really scuffed tutorial. It was difficult for me to get it right. I had so many takes. But yeah, we got a working machine in the end, which is always the goal. Yeah, have a great day. Thanks for your positivity.